Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Today we remember Valerie Mahaffey, a beloved actress whose gentle presence and exceptional talent left a lasting mark on stage and screen. Born in 1953 and raised across Indonesia, Nigeria, Texas, and England, Valerie brought a rich worldly depth to every role she touched. From Broadway's grand lights to the intimate corners of television drama, her performances carried a rare authenticity that quietly captivated audiences for over 5 decades. Valerie's artistry bloomed in roles that revealed both humor and heart. Her portrayal of Eve in Northern Exposure earned her a Primetime Emmy in 1992, showcasing a gift for bringing complexity to characters who might otherwise be overlooked. Viewers also cherished her memorable appearances in Young Sheldon, Desperate Housewives, and Dead to Me, where her performances added layers of emotion and charm. Behind the scenes, Valerie faced profound challenges, both in navigating a competitive industry and later in confronting a serious illness. Even as her health declined, she remained dedicated to her craft, taking on roles in Echo 3 and The Eighth Day with her signature grace. Her resilience was a quiet strength, inspiring colleagues and audiences alike. Through it all, Valerie never lost the warmth that defined her. Friends and family often spoke of her kindness, her laughter, and the gentle energy she carried into every space she entered. Her husband, actor Joseph Kell, and daughter Alice were her greatest joys, sharing in her creative journey until the very end. Valerie Mahaffey's legacy is one of quiet brilliance, of dedication without fanfare. She reminded us that true artistry often whispers rather than shouts, and in that whisper, we hear something deeply human and deeply moving. Jonathan Joss brought warmth, wisdom, and unforgettable character to every role he touched. Best known as the voice behind John Redcorn in King of the Hill, his presence resonated far beyond animation. For over a decade, his voice carried grace and gentle strength into living rooms across the country, offering audiences not just entertainment, but dignity and representation. His talents reached across many genres, from the sharp wit of Parks and Recreation to the dramatic depth of Tulsa King, Ray Donovan, and the Magnificent Seven. Most recently, he lent his voice to Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, a final testament to his dedication to the art of storytelling. Life was not always easy for Jonathan. Earlier this year, he endured the loss of his home, an event that tested his resilience. Yet even in the face of hardship, he continued to meet his fans, share his craft, and look forward to the future. Just days before his passing, he was engaging joyfully with admirers, celebrating the return of King of the Hill in a new revival set to premiere this August. On June 1st, Jonathan's journey came to an end in San Antonio. His final moments, as shared by his husband, reflected the same courage and selflessness that marked his life, quiet acts of love that speak louder than any spotlight. Jonathan Joss leaves behind more than a career. He leaves behind a legacy of heart, honor, and humanity. His voice may no longer fill new episodes, but the warmth he gave to the world will echo on in the stories he told and the lives he touched. Breaking news. Today, we turn our spotlight to one of the most iconic and transformative figures in American culture. Oprah Winfrey is not only a pioneer in television, but also a symbol of resilience, empathy, and self-reinvention. How did a girl from rural Mississippi rise to become one of the most powerful voices in media? And how has her journey with health, identity, and purpose inspired millions around the world. Born on January 29, 1954, in Kosciuszko, Mississippi, Oprah's early life was marked by hardship. Raised in poverty and experiencing trauma that would break many, she instead chose to transform her pain into purpose. Her strength emerged early, and her intelligence and oratory skills won her scholarships and led her into radio and television broadcasting before the age of 20. Her life changed forever in 1986, when the Oprah Winfrey Show premiered nationally. The show redefined daytime television. Oprah did not just entertain, she educated, uplifted, and connected deeply with viewers through authentic storytelling. From interviewing everyday heroes to global superstars, from exploring spirituality to tackling systemic injustice, Oprah created a space for healing and growth. By the time the show ended in 2011, she had become more than a talk show host. She was a cultural institution. What moment from the Oprah Winfrey Show moved you the most? Was it the book club, the surprise giveaways, or a powerful confession that resonated with your own journey? Oprah's work in film also made waves. Her performance in The Color Purple, 1985, earned her an Academy Award nomination and revealed her dramatic talents. Behind the camera, she produced and championed powerful stories that elevated marginalized voices, including Selma and Precious. Throughout her career, Oprah built an empire rooted in connection. She founded her own network, OWN, launched a magazine, and created Oprah's Book Club, which turned titles into instant bestsellers. She leveraged her influence to elevate topics like trauma recovery, emotional intelligence, spiritual growth, and self-care long before they were mainstream. But her journey has not been without struggle. One of the most visible battles Oprah has faced is with body image. Her weight has been scrutinized for decades, often publicly and cruelly. She has spoken candidly about the emotional toll of these comments, the cyclical nature of weight loss and gain, and the pain of having her body become tabloid fodder. What does it mean to watch someone confront insecurity on such a public stage? Has Oprah's honesty about her body image helped you reflect on your own? In recent years, Oprah's discussions around health have evolved. She reframed the conversation about weight into one about wellness, balance, and dignity. In 2023 and 2024, she opened up about her experience with metabolic health, addressing her decision to seek medical support as part of her wellness plan. Her transparency sparked national dialogue about the science of weight and the need to end stigma. Then came a health scare in mid-2024. After contracting a severe stomach virus and facing dangerous dehydration, Oprah was hospitalized for urgent care. It was a moment that reminded the world, even the strongest among us are human. Upon recovery, she used the moment to encourage others to prioritize hydration, rest, and listening to the signals of their bodies. Oprah's greatest strength may be in how she consistently transforms adversity into insight. Whether facing trauma, professional rejection, or personal loss, she always returns to the central message of her life's work. Healing is possible. What lesson from Oprah's journey has stayed with you the longest? Was it about forgiveness, faith, the power of telling your story? She has also faced criticism, especially in the digital age. Her 2021 interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, while groundbreaking, sparked both acclaim and backlash. Her public support for health innovations in 2023 and beyond drew debate. Yet, Oprah has remained grounded in one principle: curiosity without judgment. Her platform has never been about perfection, but about exploration and growth. As of today, Oprah continues to inspire through the Life You Want tour, Soul Sessions, Super Soul Sunday, and mentorship initiatives for young women worldwide. She remains a tireless advocate for education, equity, and emotional literacy. Her impact is immeasurable. From first-generation college students to seasoned readers rediscovering joy through her book club, Oprah has changed how generations relate to their inner worlds. Oprah Winfrey's journey is a testament to the quiet revolution that begins within. She has shown us that leadership does not mean shouting the loudest, but listening the deepest. That influence is not measured by power, but by the lives uplifted. And that, in the end, our stories, however painful, can become our greatest tools of transformation. How has Oprah's journey helped shape your own? What truth of hers do you carry with you still? Thank you for joining us as we reflect on the extraordinary life and ongoing legacy of Oprah Winfrey. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more uplifting tributes to the artists and leaders who help us understand not just the world, but ourselves. Alf Clausen, a masterful composer and cherished force behind the sound of The Simpsons for nearly 3 decades, brought heart, wit, and orchestral brilliance to the animated world of Springfield. Born in Minneapolis and raised in Jamestown, North Dakota, Alf's path to television greatness began with a deep love for music that led him to Berklee College of Music, where he graduated in 1966. After early work in variety shows and film orchestration, Clausen found his calling in scoring television. His breakthrough came with Moonlighting, earning him 6 Emmy nominations. But it was in 1990, when he joined The Simpsons, that his genius truly took flight. Over 27 seasons, he scored nearly 600 episodes, conducting a live orchestra and crafting music that elevated every joke, every emotion, every story. Clausen's approach was never cartoonish. As he once shared, creator Matt Groening told him, "We're not a cartoon. We're a drama where the characters are drawn." Alf responded by scoring the show like a drama, with emotional depth and rich musicality. He earned 2 Emmy Awards, 5 Annie Awards, and the enduring gratitude of fans around the world. In his later years, Clausen faced a long and courageous journey with progressive supranuclear palsy. He passed peacefully at home in Los Angeles on May 30th, 2025, at the age of 84, surrounded by family. He is remembered not just for his immense body of work, but for his humor, warmth, and passion. Alf Clausen was The Simpsons' secret weapon, a quiet architect of laughter, and a composer whose melodies will continue to echo in the hearts of generations. Taina Elg, a luminous figure of Hollywood's golden era, danced her way into the hearts of audiences around the world with elegance, grace, and quiet strength. Born in Helsinki, Finland on March 9, 1930, Taina's early passion for dance led her from the Finnish National Ballet to studies in Sweden, London, and eventually to the world stage. Discovered in London by a Hollywood producer, she was signed to MGM during the 1950s, joining a new wave of international stars. Her breakout role came in the vibrant musical Les Girls, 1957, where she starred alongside Gene Kelly and won a Golden Globe for her performance. She later brought charm and intelligence to the spy thriller The 39 Steps and worked with icons like Lana Turner and Leslie Caron. Taina's talents extended beyond the screen. She graced the Broadway stage in 7 productions, earning a Tony nomination for Where's Charlie and originating the role of Guido's mother in 9. Whether on stage or in front of the camera, her performances were filled with poise and depth. Later in life, she became a beloved presence in American soap operas, including One Life to Live and Guiding Light, where her characters were as compelling as they were complex. Taina passed peacefully on May 15, 2025, in Helsinki at the age of 95. Her later years were marked by recognition from her home country, where she was awarded the prestigious Order of the Lion of Finland. She is survived by her son, jazz guitarist Raoul Björkenheim, and a legacy of artistry, dignity, and international acclaim. Taina Elg's life was a story of movement, across countries, across stages, and always with grace. James McEachin lived a life defined by courage, conviction, and creativity, a man who served his country, shaped the music of legends, and brought integrity to every role he played on screen. Born May 20th, 1930, in Rennert, North Carolina, and raised in Hackensack, New Jersey, James answered his nation's call at just 17, enlisting in the U.S. Army. He served bravely in Korea, where he was wounded and later honored with the Purple Heart and Silver Star. Following his military service, James pursued a passion for music, working as a songwriter and producer for artists including Otis Redding. But fate soon led him to Hollywood, where he built a decades-long career portraying principled characters in films and television. From starring in his own series Tenafly to recurring roles on Perry Mason, Matlock, and All in the Family, James became a familiar and respected presence in American living rooms. He appeared in 4 films with Clint Eastwood, including Coogan's Bluff and Play Misty for Me, and countless iconic shows from Dragnet to Hill Street Blues. Beyond acting, James was a gifted writer, publishing several novels and a memoir, Swing Low My Sweet Chariot, The Ballad of Jimmy Mack, which reflected his deep love for storytelling and service. His one-man play, Above the Call, Beyond the Duty, honored the challenges and courage of military life. James McEachin passed peacefully on January 11, 2025, at age 94, and was laid to rest at Los Angeles National Cemetery. He is remembered as a soldier, artist, husband, and trailblazer whose life's work celebrated truth, honor, and resilience. His legacy remains a powerful reminder of the many ways one life can inspire many. Renee Victor, a vibrant force in film and television, brought joy, strength, and wisdom to every character she portrayed. Born on July 25, 1938, in San Antonio, Texas, she began her artistic journey as a singer, forming the beloved duo Ray and Renee with her husband. Their music, filled with heart and harmony, was just the beginning of Renee's dynamic creative path. Renee moved into acting in the 1980s and quickly became a familiar face on screen. Audiences embraced her as Lupita, the sharp-witted housekeeper in Showtime's Weeds, and in recurring roles across a variety of acclaimed series including ER, Snowpiercer, Vida, Dead to Me, and Mayans MC. Yet it was in 2017, with her voice performance as Abuelita in Disney Pixar's Coco, that Renee captured the hearts of millions. Her spirited portrayal of a loving grandmother became a cornerstone of a film that celebrated family, tradition, and remembrance. Coco resonated across cultures and generations, winning 2 Academy Awards and becoming a global tribute to heritage. Renee proudly expressed her excitement about reprising her role for the film's announced sequel. In her final years, Renee remained deeply engaged in her craft. Her passion for performance was evident in her words, "The more you do with your character, the more you discover." That spirit of curiosity and dedication defined her career. Renee Victor passed peacefully at home in Sherman Oaks, California, on May 31, 2025, surrounded by loved ones. She is remembered by her daughters, Raquel and Margot, and by fans around the world who saw in her a reflection of warmth, humor, and grace. Her voice and legacy will forever echo in the hearts of those she touched. Johnny Russell, who once lit up the silver screen alongside Shirley Temple before embarking on a remarkable career in diplomacy, lived a life as rich in service as it was in story. Born John Russell Countryman in Brooklyn on January 25, 1933, he began modeling at age 3 and soon found himself in Hollywood. Under the name Johnny Russell, he shared scenes with legends like Barbara Stanwyck, Tyrone Power, and Jimmy Stewart in films including Always Goodbye, Jesse James, and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. His most memorable performance came in 1940's The Bluebird, where he played Teal'c, brother to Temple's Mydle. His natural charm and talent made him a standout even in the company of stars. But with a loving family's guidance, he stepped away from Hollywood to embrace a new path. After serving as a U.S. Air Force pilot, Countryman pursued higher education at Fordham University and the University of Berlin as a Fulbright scholar. In 1962, he joined the U.S. Foreign Service, beginning a diplomatic career that spanned over 2 decades. He served in Istanbul, Saudi Arabia, Libya, and Gabon, and was appointed U.S. ambassador to Oman under President Reagan from 1981 to 1985. Even in his later years, he remained dedicated to global cooperation and peace, working with initiatives in the Middle East and mentoring the next generation. He passed peacefully on December 14, 2024, in Virginia at the age of 91, following a brief illness. Remembered as a child actor, an Air Force veteran, a diplomat, and a family man, Johnny Russell embodied a life of transformation, grace, and public service. His legacy lives on through his loved ones and the lives he touched across continents. Barre Phillips, a trailblazing figure in the world of jazz and improvisational music, lived a life of fearless creativity and quiet revolution. Born in San Francisco in 1934, Barre's early journey began with classical training under Charles Siani of the San Francisco Symphony. But it was jazz and the freedom it offered that ultimately called to him. In 1968, Phillips released Journal Violone, the first ever solo bass album, a groundbreaking work that reimagined the double bass as a complete orchestra unto itself. His career would span decades and continents, from recording with legends like Eric Dolphy, Archie Shepp, and Ornette Coleman, to crafting thoughtful, boundary-pushing works on ECM records. Barre's collaborations were as daring as they were diverse. Whether performing with the trio, Barry Guy's London Jazz Composers Orchestra, or in experimental duos like his final ECM release Face a Face, he brought a visionary spirit to every note. His music was not just heard, it was felt, deeply and imaginatively. He also lent his sonic signature to film, working with director Robert Kramer for over 20 years and contributing to acclaimed soundtracks. Beyond performance, Barre gave back to his community as president of the International Society of Bassists, mentoring and advocating for the instrument he loved so deeply. Barre Phillips passed away in 2025 at the age of 90. He leaves behind not only recordings, but a legacy of innovation, defiance, and generosity. His artistry pushed the limits of what a single musician and a single instrument could express. In redefining the role of the bass, he redefined the very boundaries of sound. Richard Foreman, a visionary playwright and founder of the ontological hysteric theater, forever transformed the American avant-garde stage. Born in 1937 in Staten Island and raised in Scarsdale, New York, Foreman's fascination with theater began early and never wavered. Across more than 5 decades, he wrote and directed over 50 plays that dared audiences to see the world differently. Works like My Head Was a Sledgehammer and Permanent Brain Damage that blended philosophy, absurdity, and startling emotional depth. Foreman's journey was never about following convention. In fact, he carved his own language of performance, often challenging theatergoers with cryptic dialogues, stark stage designs, and deeply intellectual themes. This uncompromising vision brought him critical acclaim and numerous honors, including a MacArthur Fellowship and a shelf of Obie Awards. Yet his path wasn't always easy. His work was frequently misunderstood, and his style, though celebrated in artistic circles, often alienated mainstream audiences. Still, he remained undeterred, fueled by a need to make sense of the world's mysteries through art. In his later years, Foreman's health grew fragile, and he became increasingly sensitive to light, reshaping his daily life to support his creative focus. Despite physical challenges, he continued to write, direct, and dream, even staging his final play just months before his passing. Richard Foreman passed away on January 6, 2025, in Manhattan due to complications from pneumonia. He was 87. His work left an indelible mark on American theater, inviting generations to think, to feel, and to question. In every string of light, every whispered line, his spirit endures, a testament to a life lived boldly in pursuit of truth and art. Ena Hartman, a trailblazing actress and former fashion model, left a quiet yet powerful legacy in American television and film. Born in 1932 in rural Arkansas to a family of sharecroppers, Ena's early life was marked by resilience and determination. By her teenage years, she had moved to Buffalo, New York, and later found herself in New York City, where she flourished as a model and studied acting under esteemed mentors. In 1962, Ena made history as the first Black performer to be awarded a talent contract with NBC, a groundbreaking moment that signaled a slow shift in the industry's approach to diversity. Her early appearances included roles in Bonanza and the pilot of Adam 12, eventually leading to her most memorable television role as Katie Grant, a police dispatcher in the ABC series Dan August, opposite Burt Reynolds. At a time when roles for Black actresses were limited, Ena's performance stood out for its intelligence and poise. Ena's film work included appearances in Our Man Flint, Airport, and the cult classic Terminal Island. Although many opportunities were lost to changing industry winds, including potential roles in a Dorothy Dandridge biopic and Star Trek, Ena's dedication to her craft never wavered. She faced professional challenges in an era that often overlooked women of color, yet she persevered with dignity and grace. Her later years were spent in quiet retirement, surrounded by family, including her son, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Ena Hartman passed peacefully on April 16, 2025, at her home in Van Nuys due to natural causes. She was 93. Her contributions to entertainment and representation endure, reminding us that true pioneers do not always seek the spotlight, but they illuminate the path for those who follow. Russ North, born July 22, 1965, in Benchill, Cheshire, was more than just a heavy metal vocalist. He was a force of nature. With a voice that soared across octaves and a presence that lit up every stage he stepped on, Russ carved a unique path through the world of metal music. Best known for his time as the lead singer of Cloven Hoof, he gave life to two of their most iconic albums, Dominator and A Sultan's Ransom, etching his name into the annals of rock history. From his early days performing in local bands to his later years with legendary acts like Tredegar and Cloven Hoof, Russ was driven by a deep love for music. His incredible vocal range and theatrical style drew comparisons to the genre's greats, and at one point, he even came close to becoming the frontman for Iron Maiden, a testament to his extraordinary talent. But Russ's journey wasn't always smooth. Life off stage brought personal battles that sometimes spilled into his professional world. In 2012, a difficult moment during a live show marked his final departure from Cloven Hoof. Yet, even in those struggles, there was a vulnerability that made him all the more human. An artist giving everything to his craft, even when the weight became too heavy. On January 1st, 2025, Russ's vibrant journey came to a quiet close. He was 59. Though his voice has gone silent, his music continues to echo. Powerful, fearless, unforgettable. For fans around the world, Russ North remains a symbol of passion, intensity, and the raw, untamed soul of heavy metal. His legacy lives on in every note he sang and every heart he stirred. Sherry Robb's life was a vibrant tapestry woven with stories, vision, and unwavering dedication to nurturing creative talent. Born with a heart full of empathy and a mind sharp as a pen, she began her professional journey as a therapist and educator before discovering her true calling in the world of publishing and entertainment. Over 5 decades, Sherry reshaped the literary and film landscape through her work as a literary agent, talent manager, and producer. She had an extraordinary gift for recognizing untapped voices and turning raw ideas into cultural milestones. From launching Betty White's literary journey with Pet Love, inspired by heartfelt conversations about grief and healing, to guiding Mary Wilson's Dream Girl. My Life as a Supreme to bestseller status, Sherry amplified the voices of those who had stories to tell, and made sure the world listened. Perhaps most famously, she helped bring Robert Graysmith's chilling true crime book Zodiac to publication, paving the way for David Fincher's acclaimed 2007 film. Her influence didn't stop there. She played a vital role in jump-starting Ronald D. Moore's television career, a name now synonymous with groundbreaking science fiction. Sherry's courage extended beyond professional boundaries. For 2 decades, she quietly battled congestive heart disease, never letting it overshadow her passion for creating and mentoring. Her resilience was matched only by her warmth, a rare mix of tenacity and tenderness that left an enduring mark on everyone she worked with. Sherry Robb passed peacefully on February 14, 2025, at the age of 81. Her legacy, however, is timeless, living on in the stories she helped birth, the talent she nurtured, and the lives she touched with her unmatched generosity and belief in the power of storytelling. Hoedeman, born August 1, 1940 in Amsterdam, was a visionary whose stop-motion films touched the hearts of generations around the world. A gentle spirit with a masterful hand, he built entire worlds out of sand, wood, fabric, and light, each frame a testament to his boundless creativity and deep empathy. His journey from crafting puppets in post-war Holland to becoming one of Canada's most celebrated animators was sparked by a singular moment of inspiration: seeing the films of Norman McLaren. With little more than hope and talent, he moved to Montreal in 1965 and joined the National Film Board of Canada, where he would go on to create 27 remarkable films. In 1977, Coe earned international recognition when The Sand Castle won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short. This poetic tale of a sandman and his creatures, building a fragile home together, beautifully captured themes of community, imagination, and impermanence. But even in triumph, Coe remained grounded, characteristically modest about the honor. Throughout his career, he continued to innovate, whether using wooden blocks in Chucho, collaborating with Inuit artists on traditional stories, or working with indigenous inmates to create the poignant The Sniffing Bear. His beloved Ludovic series further cemented his role as a storyteller for the young and young at heart. Behind the camera, Coe faced the quiet challenge of preserving handcrafted artistry in a world moving rapidly toward digital animation. Yet he remained faithful to the tactile, deeply human quality of his medium. On May 26, 2025, in Montreal, Coe passed away at the age of 84. Though he has left the stage, his films remain, whispering wonder, kindness, and timeless magic to all who watch. Breaking news. Sigourney Weaver is not just a name on movie credits. She is a seismic force who redefined what it means to be a heroine in Hollywood. With a career that spans over 5 decades, she has risen as a symbol of strength, intelligence, and artistic defiance. But what truly lies behind the commanding screen presence of Ellen Ripley, Dr. Grace Augustine, and countless other iconic roles? What battles has Sigourney fought, quietly but fiercely, both on and off the screen? And how has she used her platform to shape not just stories, but society itself? Let us know in the comments. What is your most unforgettable Sigourney Weaver moment? Born Susan Alexandra Weaver on October 8, 1949 in New York City, Sigourney grew up surrounded by the arts. Her father, Sylvester Weaver, was a television pioneer and president of NBC, Her mother, Elizabeth Inglis, was a British actress. From this dual heritage of storytelling and professionalism, Sigourney crafted her own voice. That voice grew louder at Stanford University and was sharpened at the Yale School of Drama. But even among talent, she stood out. Her height, her poise, her mind, everything about her broke molds. Was Hollywood ready for someone who would refuse to fit any box? In 1979, she answered that question with a thunderous yes in Ridley Scott's Alien. Cast as Ellen Ripley, a role originally written for a man, Sigourney turned sci-fi into something deeply human. She was vulnerable but strong, rational yet emotional. Alien was not just a hit, it was a revolution. And with that, a new kind of female action hero was born. Have you ever seen a character quite like Ripley since? Weaver reprised her role in 3 Alien sequels, each time peeling back new layers of courage and complexity. But she did not rest on that legacy. In 1984, she starred in Ghostbusters, bringing humor and supernatural sass to a male-dominated comedy. In 1988, she stunned critics with 2 transformative performances in Gorillas in the Mist and Working Girl, earning 2 Academy Award nominations in the same year. Think about that for a moment. 2 Oscar nominations, one for portraying a fierce conservationist, and the other for a powerful corporate antagonist. How many actors have showcased that kind of range in a single year? While her screen characters soared, Sigourney faced challenges in real life that many women in Hollywood still recognize today: resistance, stereotyping, ageism. She often spoke out about the barriers facing women, especially those over 40, and how industry executives tried to reduce her roles or questioned her physicality. But instead of bending, she stood taller, both literally and figuratively. She turned down roles that objectified women. She chose scripts that had something to say. She refused cosmetic surgery in a town obsessed with youth. In doing so, she became an icon not only of talent, but of principle. Would you have had the courage to say no to the status quo? Sigourney's health journey, though more private, reflects that same grounded strength. She has never sought attention for her well-being, but she has long advocated for wellness, mental health, and self-awareness. A supporter of yoga, nature therapy, and women's heart health awareness campaigns, she leads by quiet example. And while she has had no major public health battles, she consistently uses her voice to promote balance, aging with grace, and embracing every life chapter fully. What practices help you feel grounded like Sigourney? In more recent years, Weaver's career has only grown deeper. Her performance in Avatar, 2009, as Dr. Grace Augustine introduced her to a new generation and reminded the world that science, spirit, and storytelling can coexist beautifully. She reprised her presence in Avatar, The Way of Water, 2022, this time playing a character with ethereal depth, crafted through advanced CGI and her own remarkable voice work. Even in her 70s, Sigourney remains a pioneer of both traditional and cutting-edge cinema. Outside of film, she champions environmental causes, literacy, and arts education. Her activism never seeks the spotlight, yet it resonates in every project she supports. She is also a celebrated figure in international cinema, frequently collaborating with European filmmakers, lending her wisdom to emerging directors, and appearing in unexpected roles that challenge genre and form. Through it all, Sigourney Weaver has stayed above the fray of tabloid culture. No scandals, no feuds, no theatrics, just consistent, meaningful work. And that is perhaps the rarest achievement of all in Hollywood. How many public figures can you name who have stayed this true to themselves, decade after decade? As we look at her remarkable journey, it is clear, Sigourney Weaver is more than an actress. She is an architect of modern cinema, a champion for intelligent storytelling, and a role model for integrity. Whether portraying a fearless space officer, a compassionate scientist, or a biting executive, she has always given us more than a performance. She has given us perspective. If Sigourney's legacy has inspired you, Share your favorite performance or personal insight in the comments. And if you want to see more stories of strength, wisdom, and authenticity in Hollywood, subscribe to our channel and join us in celebrating voices that truly matter. Thank you for honoring the journey of a legend who continues to rise, not just as an actress, but as a timeless force of change.